So I've owned the Polaris General for almost 3 years on the dot. Today I'm going to go through all the good, all the bad, have I enjoyed owning it, what I'm considering buying next, and the government's told us to do social distancing. So I'm taking it seriously and I'm going to try some today. Got to take social distancing seriously. So, oh god, oh wow, we got a lot of rain yesterday. The trails are really wet. There's one bad point. I've replaced all the clutch in this thing, but it still insists on slipping the belt. That's one con that we'll get to with the pros and cons segment. But I do love this machine, but the standard clutch, when you put larger tyres on, belt slip is just, it's unavoidable. The General kind of allows you to have the best of both worlds. Be a bit of an idiot if you're like me and you can't help yourself, where the Ranger of course has got the power but just doesn't have the nice seats and the handling that the General does with its more razor based chassis. So, but there's always a compromise with everything. But I think the General is a good compromise. Handles the bumps beautifully. I have the deluxe. This is the deluxe model, so top of the range. It has the Fox shocks all around with piggybacks, and it has 3 settings for each shock. And now I've lost the trail. That's what happens when I don't go up here long enough. There we go. Oh, there's a lot of logs down. I don't think we're going to get over this. Let's try low. So many trees down on the trail, I can't believe it. Although I haven't been up here in probably 6 months. Try and make our way right across the hill to the other side. But I love how the General just, you feel like part of it. You don't feel like, when you drive the Ranger, you kind of feel like you're going to fall out. Just because the seating, you don't have the nice bucket seats, and the General, you have these really nice upholstered seats. This part of the trail isn't too bad. But by no means have I treated this thing nicely. I've never broken a belt yet. I have slipped 3 belts. So basically, once you've slipped them, they kind of, the sides are rat shit, and you've got to basically replace it or scuff the sides of the belt back up to get traction on the clutch. In saying that, that's probably its only downfall, is if you're thinking of buying one of these Generals and putting on a bigger set of tyres and a lift kit and stuff, honestly, my personal opinion, after doing those sort of things, I wouldn't do it. I would personally maybe go up one size in the tyres. I would not put a lift kit back in this thing, just for the fact that I had nothing but dramas with the lift kit in there. It handled like crap. The suspension geometry was all changed, and yeah, when I buy another one, it's whatever vehicle I do end up buying in the future, I definitely will not be putting a lift kit in it. I'll just be going up one tyre size. Unless you're doing mudding and all that sort of stuff, it's not too bad. But for what I do, just general driving around the farm now, I've kind of got the bug out of my system of having a fast UTV. Now I just like to just get out and enjoy driving around the farm, and don't necessarily need to go flat out and go fast all the time now. So there is a couple of vehicles that I am looking at to replace the General with, but we'll get to that later in the video. But super wet down on the property this weekend. Just poured rain all day yesterday. If you don't mind cleaning these things, some of the best fun you can have is driving through water and coming out after you've had a big rain. So in the F250 the other day, this is where I got stuck. Well, I almost got stuck. So it gets really wet down in here. As you can see, the bridge over there is all blown out. But yeah, this is where all the water runs down through the valley. But it's really boggy. This is where all the pigs come down every now and again. They dig it all up. So I'm just gonna go in four-wheel drive, and then we're probably just gonna go low range. See if we can get through this big girl. Ew! No worries at all. So I think we should go and have a chat. We'll go and park it up, and we'll go for a run through all the pros and cons of the General, what I think of it, would I buy another one, and what I'm looking to buy in the future. I'm bloody loving self-isolation. It says bloody brilliant, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look. Oh, go winner. Oh, how's that for a view? Bloody epic. So if you don't already know, I actually had a Can-Am X3 before I bought the Polaris General. I bought the X3 basically not thinking it through. Again, if you guys don't already know, I am a motocrosser. I race motocross my whole life and build tracks and stuff like that. So the race side of me is kind of why I bought the X3 Can-Am. But it was just too full on, and to do the things that I wanted to do around the farm and the property, the odd hunting trip and things like that, and a bit of work here and there, the X3 just couldn't do that. So I sold the X3, I bought the Polaris General, and it has been a great machine. The only faults I can really say about the General would be the clutch and the belt slip, but I'd say that's because of the tyre size that I have on the unit. I'm running 30-inch tyres. My advice, if you're going to go and buy a General, do not put a lift kit in it, and only go up one size in tyre maximum. As soon as you start messing with the suspension and the geometry and all that sort of stuff, which I've already done and I've had experience doing it, the Polaris is pretty much bone stock now. Everything underneath it is pretty much bone stock besides from the tyre size. I'm still running these 30-inch tyres until they wear out. I'm going to go back to a 28-inch. So my General's just about to hit 8,000 kilometers, which is a lot for a side-by-side. I drive this every single day. I use it around the property, I use it at work. I always am driving this General every single day, getting firewood in winter, just doing the odd rounds around the farm and stuff like that, getting from A to B. It's always my go-to to just jump in it, and I haven't treated this thing nicely at all. I've been very abusive towards it. I've rolled it once, I've crashed it into a tree, and the motor in this thing, they are bulletproof. The engine and the transmission, it's still solid. I can feel the gear stick is getting a little bit looser, may need some adjusting and stuff like that. The engine is still solid. I love the doors. They're one of the best doors from a factory unit that I've ever used. Again, we've got the Rangers and stuff, and I've driven a bunch of different side-by-sides over the years, and these are by far the best quality closing fitment door on the market. But yeah, if Polaris, if you're watching, just grab this wheel and just move it this way and put it about here and give me a longer bed. Actually no, leave that wheel there, put another wheel here with a diff, and then extend that bed and make the General a 6x6. That would be absolutely sick. So here's a couple of functions I want to show you. So that's the tipping bed. These doors still are, after the 3 years, how nicely they still close. How easy the seats are to remove. It's basically one clip just there and the seat comes out. So if you accidentally contaminate your fuel, it's good here underneath the seat. You can actually access the fuel tank from these compartments just here, which I think is a really good thought on Polaris' side. We'll go around this other side and I'll show you the driver's seat. So again, doors are still really nice. Now to remove these seats, you simply reach down the back here and you'll find a little lever. Simply pull up on that and pull back. And I can literally, holding the camera, remove that seat. No issues at all. And then under this side, you have another compartment and you have the battery. And guys, you can see how I've been treating this thing. And that's still the original battery. I have not changed the battery at all. So you do have other little compartments up in here. So that's your the ECU for the engine. And then on the other side you have an empty compartment where you could mount something else in there if you wanted something electrical. I put all this car build stuff on here just to stop so much noise coming through the firewall from the engine, try and quieten down the cabin a little bit. So yeah, they're just couple little functions I just wanted to show you that I think are pretty cool. You do have your center console with your 12-volt socket inside, and you've got another 12-volt socket just down there. Got your winch in and out. Winch still works perfectly. You do have your sound bar up here, that still works great. And then just here you have your headlights, 4-wheel drive, and then that's I had the other light bar rigged up to that switch there. So if you're looking for that in between, you don't want a full farm version, you don't want to go full Razor, the General is such an awesome unit for a compromise. You can be an idiot in it like I am, you can do the odd work around the farm. It's fun to do trails and stuff. You can jump it. If you get the deluxe model with the Fox shocks, they're just a awesome unit to be in between kind of both, because it's there's always a compromise. You either get the race version or you get the farm version. And with Polaris making the General, it's right in between, and I think that is absolutely awesome. So I would highly recommend to buy a General. I am looking within kind of the next maybe 6 months to replace the General, and there is a couple of units that I'm looking at. Unfortunately, they're not Polaris. I wish Polaris, like I just mentioned, had the General in a long wheelbase with a longer bed. I think that would be awesome if they could do that. Unfortunately, Can-Am has done that. They have their Defender HD with a long wheelbase, or you can get the 6x6 Defender as well, which is 6-wheel drive, and they look absolutely awesome. I'll put a picture up right now for you. So these are the two units that I'm considering buying next. unless within those 6 months Polaris come out with something. So again, you may have had a different experience with your General or your Polaris. This is my experience over the past 3 years. I've flogged the hell out of this thing and it's been great. So I can't fault the things that have gone wrong with it because it's kind of my doing, regards to the larger tyres and the slipping of the belts and things like that. So it's been a great unit. I just, yeah, I would buy another one, no dramas whatsoever. I would buy another Polaris General. But Polaris, if you're watching this, 6x6 General. Yeah, my review on the General, guys. It's an awesome thing. If you're looking to get one, I'd highly recommend it. So I hope you have enjoyed my social distancing today in the General. I've had a blast running down the trails. Now I've got to go and clean it, and I've got to clean all my camera gear. My camera got covered in mud when I went through one of those mud holes, so it's all good fun. But anyway, guys, heaps more coming to the channel. Make sure you stay tuned. Got more Raptor content coming. And we've got a fridge review coming. The legends at Bushman have sent me a fridge to try out. So that review's coming. I've got more camping videos coming. Got the review on the Bush Company rooftop tent. That's a video I've been wanting to do for a while. Just, yeah, perfect timing right now with everything that's going on to smash all these videos out. So stay safe, guys. Keep your family safe. Remember, social distance, wash your hands, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. See yous. Bloody March tyres. The March tyres are still around. March flies. I've had like 4 bite me today and I'd pretty much crushed them into dust. So many flies and they're all over this. They're like black. Bloody everywhere.